And I did want to talk about one thing because there was a blow up on the sidelines for Tom Brady. Tom Brady got frustrated with his offensive line, a very new and rearranged offensive line that they've had to shuffle around a lot because of injuries. And, he got upset. He was yelling on the sidelines. And somebody decided to make it about race. And that somebody's, of course, going to be ESPN and Stephen A. Smith. So I thought we could listen to Stephen A. Smith and his race-baiting garbage from woke ESPN.
But I want to get to a bigger point before I pass it to you.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, we need to be consistent. Was Tom Brady passionate, or was he the angry white guy?
Oh, my God.
Because if that was somebody else doing what he was doing with his offensive lineman, we would have been talking about, if that was a black man, we would have been talking about his temper. We'd have been talking about the fact that he might not need to act like that with the cameras rolling. I had no problem with it whatsoever. If brothers ain't blocking for you, you 45 years old, you behind the center, and you getting smacked around, you damn right you should get in their face. I have no issue with what Tom Brady did with them whatsoever. All I'm trying to say is that when a black quarterback does that, I don't want to hear nothing about it since nobody's saying anything about Tom Brady doing it. And I also don't want to hear about stuff being overblown. He went to Robert Kraft's wedding on a Friday night. He missed the walkthrough, etc. They clearly are not on the same page. They don't seem to have everything in order. If this was somebody, now in that regard, there is a Tom Brady category that's separate and apart from everybody else. The anger part, when he's getting on the offensive lineman, no, that everybody should be lumped into there. But in terms of him missing,
now listen, I think that. First of all, Tom Brady's been criticized multiple times for his blow-ups on the sidelines. He got into heated arguments before with, I think, Josh McDaniels on the sideline. That blew up. That was a big
Bill
story.
O'Brien.
Yeah, and Bill O'Brien. That's happened several times, so let's not pretend like Tom Brady doesn't get criticized for that. On the other hand, like you said, this is the greatest the greatest quarterback in a lot of people's minds of all time in Tom Brady. He does probably get a little more leeway to talk to people that way. In the same way that people reacted much differently to Draymond Green punching Jordan Poole in Warriors practice than they did to Michael Jordan punching Steve Kerr, because there's a little bit of difference between those people. To me, it's just more race-baiting bullshit from Stephen A. Smith.
Who are the black players that have been called angry black men because of their NFL temper tantrum?
I can name two or three.
Yeah.
I mean, T.O., obviously, Antonio Brown, and Odell.
Yeah,
Odell.
And those are guys that are criticized because of because they're always like Antonio Brown. The guy's always crazy. I mean, but it's not like the angry black man. Like we've seen black quarterbacks get mad, and I don't remember any of them saying, "Oh, angry black man." At least that's not usually the guys that get criticized for anger is people that you think are really out of control in general. That, are prima donna personalities, wide receivers, but also when they're losing it. Like people started suspecting that Antonio Brown was losing it. He was. He walked off in the middle of a game. He turned out to be nuts. So I get it's Stephen A. Smith finding a racial angle to interject into the equation is what is because that's what he does. That's how he boosts his ratings. I mean, Joe Rogan always wants to go UFC on him when he tries to do UFC commentary because he's so incompetent at it.
Yeah.
So that's how I take that. I think I did because I was like, there are probably stronger comparisons to make than the one he chose to make.
I mean, how about just last Monday? Last Monday, Patrick Mahomes was yelling at he was either yelling at the Raiders saying, I'm right here. There was nothing about that. And Devontae Adams, after the game, pushing the reporter. It wasn't about his skin color. It was about the fact that he pushed the fucking cameraman.
Yeah.
So, he got criminally charged with assault. So,
And Stephen A. Smith looking at the camera, no, I'm not saying that, Tom Brady was wrong for what he did, but is he the angry white man? I'm not saying there was anything wrong, but is he the angry white man? It's like, dude, you can't have it fucking both ways, Stephen A. Smith. Fucking pick one.
Yeah, and that is Robert's 100% right. This is what he does. This is the reason that Stephen A. Smith stays employed, right? Is making outrageous comments like this and then it blowing up. But yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. That's all ESPN is at this point. It's just race baiting garbage. So we're here to call them out over it. Tom Brady obviously visibly frustrated. As I said back in training camp, I think it was a mistake for Tom Brady to take those 11 days away with a new offensive line, with wide receivers that he wasn't used to yet. I thought it was a big mistake, and that had to be something wrong with his personal life. Turns out that's what happened. But there's no doubt that that is probably playing a role as well in the team, in their struggles, in their inability to overcome them this early on in the season.